Okay, this is the engine bay video inspection for the 2011 Infiniti G37. Right away, it has been detailed. There is a bit of detail grease, detail butter in here. Again, that's pretty typical for dealer vehicles and not necessarily a problem. I don't like to see it because over time it starts to collect film and dirt and dust. It actually ends up coming back worse because it becomes kind of a magnet for dirt and debris and things. I did pull up the panels for the booster and the battery because I want to document those. You can kind of see down in here probably the amount of dirt that was on the engine in here before. That's right in line for 100,000 miles living in a dusty environment you know, not being cleaned up to that point. So but that's just kind of a 2-point comparison just from here to here. It's kind of hard to see. I do want documented the back two heater core coolant hoses are, let me see if I get some light on them. Those shiny ones back there, they're swollen. I would have those addressed as soon as possible. Those could pop and they'll dump coolant all down the back of the engine, which would be a shame because this engine is actually pretty clean. There's no leaks documented, no arrested leaks. The sides of the engine, the cylinder heads, and the block, as we looked underneath, are nice and shiny. It's good to see that there's not been really any damage or anything that's big messes in here. Just kind of the dirt that we saw. But these hoses are getting old. They're starting to swell. You can kind of start to see, even on the front upper radiator hose, is getting a little swollen. I would just like to see those addressed. We can see the conduit here is nice and clean. It's not eroded. It's not chewed on. No rodent damage. All the fluids came back good. It has recently had an oil change at a facility prior to trade-in. The battery terminals are a little bit rusted, a little bit corroded. I'd like to see those cleaned up a little bit better and addressed. Otherwise, I am going to give the engine bay a pass. But again, let's get these coolant hoses addressed, and let's get the battery terminals cleaned up, and just kind of pay attention to fluids as this vehicle ages. Thank you. This is the exterior inspection of the 2011 Infiniti G37. We're going to start at the front left quarter panel. We're going to look for collision damage, exterior damage, pushed-in paneling, mismatched paint, anything like that, any cosmetic stuff as well. During the engine bay inspection, we did not document any damage to the front core support or anything collision damage that brought in the front of the vehicle, so no concerns there. Both headlights are pretty significantly oxidized, age-related stuff. A good kind of cleanup kit on those would go far to improve the nighttime visibility on those. The wheels are starting to lose some of their paint. They're largely kind of lost their luster, their clear coat, and the base paint layer is starting to kind of peel off. You can kind of see the primer underneath. That's not too common. It could have happened in a kind of a really dusty or rock kind of environment, farm-based environment. Who knows? I don't see that too much, but that's what's going on right there. So we're going to walk the vehicle. We're looking for squareness and trueness of panels. Fitment for A pillar to front quarter panel, that's square. We do this to look for collision damage. So we're going to come up here, we're going to go to B pillar, following that up, that looks square. There's peeling and some trim damage kind of on these panels here on both sides. The other side's worse, oxidation related mostly. We're going to go back here, checking C pillar to door, that's square. I can see there's a very nice kind of pearlescent metallic flake in the paint. We've got good sunlight out here today, so I can kind of, I'm doing my best to look at the deviations and patterness of the flake from the front to the back of the vehicle that might indicate a panel has been repainted. I'm also looking maybe for orange peel or thickness of paint or any deviations in the texture of the paint as well. So we're gonna keep walking the vehicle, checking the rear driver tire, so same deal here. A little bit of paint oxidation going on that. We pulled on the bumper cover, it's nice and secure. There's no issues with the bumper cover, it's on there nice and tight. Looking at the rear trunk lid, nice and square all the way through on all three lines we can see up here, over here, and up around here. Moving around to right rear. This wheel's got some of that same thing, peeling oxidation as well. There's a little bit of paint damage right here on the outer fuel door port right here. Following the vehicle up, checking C-pillar squareness right here. We can still see that nice kind of pearlescent metallic flake kind of all over the vehicle. Clear coat comes back good as a whole. The clear coat's good to see. It is solid on this vehicle. Here's some of that pretty significant oxidation and panel wear right here. A lot of sun exposure here. Again, that's cosmetic. So we're gonna go to B-pillar here. B-pillar square, there's some paint damage to the handle right here, some peeling. We're gonna walk up to the front. A-pillar coming back square. Both mirror caps are good as well. Fogging up here on the front right quarter panel headlight. This wheel is probably the best of all four, but it's still got some peeling. The fog lights cosmetically are fine, but the front passenger side fog light appears to be out. Just a bulb replacement on that guy. The front bumper cover comes back nice and snug. Pulling on that, pushing on it, no concerns there. And the panel gaps on the hood are nice and snug, and you can see the watertight gasket here is still in good shape. So I am going to go ahead and give the exterior a pass. I'm also going to include on the documentation here, there is about a quarter size rock chip in the glass right here. It's probably repairable at this point, and I would actually recommend that versus replacing the whole glass. If this is Infiniti glass, it probably has some acoustic dampening to it. So I would get that repaired before I would replace the whole glass. Thank you. All right, this is the underbody inspection for the 2011 Infiniti G37. Right away, it's rust-free. I'm really pleased to see that. I don't get to see that too often, especially on vehicles approaching now about 15 years old. The exhaust is almost entirely rust-free. Just really, really nice to see. I'm not seeing any damage under the vehicle. I have already walked the entire vehicle. No signs of high centering, any sort of collision or off-roading with the vehicle. The flex pipes on the exhaust are in good condition. They're not rusted. The oil pan and transmission pan are both dry. I can see those from the driver's side of the vehicle. There is a little bit of aero down here, but not too much. Infiniti from these generations makes the underbodies nice and tight with a minimal amount of aero. There's not a lot of chunks and doodads hanging down. They organize the underbodies of these vehicles very well. There's a rear skid plate for the fuel tank back here. It's not beat up or chewed up or anything like that. The tie down, the toe straps or the import straps right here are good. I do believe this car has had 2 rear mufflers that have been replaced. They look stainless steel, and they look like the metal patina between the stock exhaust and the diameter of the piping also seems to be, it's about like maybe a 3-inch pipe to a 2-inch down like that. So I think the aftermarket mufflers, we did get the vehicle up to 60, 70 miles an hour and ran it on the highway as part of the road test. No drone. So the exhaust, the mufflers back here are well done. They sound good. They have a kind of a nice aggressiveness to them, but it's not invasive to the cabin. And again, there's no drone, so that's nice to see. Walking over to the passenger side, inspecting the underbody here, same deal, no missing panels. We can see brake lines, fuel lines, those all look good, evap lines, so on. Pinch welds all look pretty good. Coming up, there's another one of the tie-down straps, transmission pan, the catalytic converters, those look good, nice and square and snug under here. Good organization, engineering. Moving to the front of the vehicle, there may have once been a belly pan on here. In fact, I'm pretty sure there has. I can see some of the clips. So it is missing the under belly pan. I can't tell you if that was when and where through a vehicle's history that was removed, but it looks like it may have been a little while it's been off. It did just have an oil change a little while ago, so it's really just kind of hard to tell, but it is missing the underbelly pan. I would get that replaced as soon as possible. So I'm pleased to see the underbody is nice and rust-free and square and mostly complete. So I'm going to go ahead and give the underbody a pass at this time. Thank you. All right, this is the interior inspection of the G37. We are going to have to go over a couple things here. Driver's side door, the trim panel here is loose. There's some, you can see the kind of clips. This would need to be replaced. It's probably not too terribly expensive, but you can see they're separated all along the door here. I couldn't tell you why that would be, because this is not how you would service the door. There's other ports and things that you would take this off from the rear of the door card, not from the front. So I can't tell you if someone grabbed this. There shouldn't be any reason why this is hanging down. The center cup holder latch does not work. Let's see, it is missing the floor mats. The vehicle does need it needs a better cleaning on the interior. It needs a deeper cleaning. The steering wheel itself is pretty kind of worn down. It is through the top layer of leather there. Moving to the back, let's go around to the rear passenger right. Same thing, the wood garnish over here is just missing a huge chunk of wood garnish for whatever reason. Maybe something got shoved in from the other side. The door got closed on something hard. There are also no floor mats in here. Again, couldn't tell you when and where those would have disappeared. However, infotainment works, backup camera works, AC works. It needs a new cabin air filter. It's a bit stinky. All the stuff in the glove box is still here. The dealer's manual, the owner's manual is still here. The seats are not chewed up. That's nice to see. The leather's still intact on left and right side. It just needs a little bit deeper cleaning. You can kind of see in the creases and cracks and crevices there's still a fair amount of dirt from being 15 years old. So I am going to go ahead, by the skin of its teeth, I'm going to pass the interior because everything driver facing does work, with the exception of the auto down on the driver window. And the interior is complete, aside from the damage on the piece of wood garnish and things like that. It's annoying to see, but I wouldn't park that as mission critical. Rear vents also work for the AC unit as well through the center console. So thank you. Okay, this is the trunk inspection of the 2011 Infiniti G37. That's nice to see. It's got the original Infiniti mat in here. It's not heavily damaged or stained. I see that a lot. I see a lot of staining in these trunks, especially on the kind of the weaving here, the stitching. So we're gonna go underneath here. The lower mat is here as well. Again, very nice to see. The little loop you pull on pulls it up with the plastic corrugation here. The trunk emergency kit and roadside kit's mostly complete. The spare tire does not appear to have ever been used, and the hold down for that is here as well. Not seeing signs of dirt, a lot of dirt, or anything that's not blown in, like rodents, debris or damage or flood or anything like that. So I'm going to call the trunk complete. I couldn't tell you if this is stuff that would have been stock or an optional thing put here, but you do have all the pieces you need to change a tire or to tow the vehicle over here. So I am pleased to going to go ahead and give the trunk a pass. And it's good to see that we've got our roadside kit in here that's complete. Thank you. All right, this is the code scan portion of the vehicle. All the important modules like engine, transmission, ABS, SRS all came back clean. There was a historical code for the immobilizer. Not concerned about that. That could be key fob related. You know, it's starting the vehicle. Not concerned. There was a current code for the navigation antenna and the amp. That it's hard to tell what it ties that amplifier into, if it means amp for maybe it's for the nav or the head unit. Didn't see any problems with the sound system in the vehicle, and didn't document any misbehaviors by the head unit, the infotainment. So I can't immediately tell you what that code is claiming to be a problem for. Honestly, I would just, if it manifests itself later, I would chase it at that time, but I'm not calling any sort of concerns with the driver-facing controls at this time. So otherwise, the code scan gets a pass. Thank you. All right, this is the conclusions video for the 2011 Infiniti G37. Right away, I'll tell you, I'm going to go ahead and pass the vehicle. The steering, suspension, and drive test came back nice and clear. Suspension is snug, steering track straight and true. Brakes feel good. We got the vehicle up, did some hard pulls, brought the speed down. Handles exactly like it should in an emergency situation. Hard lefts, hard rights at speed, handled great. The clear coat's still good over the vehicle. The vehicle is completely rust-free underneath. For a technician or inspector, that's a very vital one to see. I really very much like seeing those rust-free underbodies, especially living in this climate. The engine bay comes back largely with a clean bill of health. We went over the coolant hoses in the video. The fluids came back good. Really just a deep cleaning, and the interior is the biggest niggling factors here with the damaged trim panels and the damaged cup holder and things like that. It is missing the floor mats, like I said. Smell check came back sort of okay. You can kind of smell that the HVAC system's a little bit musty. It's probably way overdue for a cabin air filter. I appreciate that the trunk itself is complete and snug and put together. And whoever did the modifications for the mufflers back here chose well. They don't interfere with the operation of the vehicle in terms of you're not hearing drone or any sort of kind of obnoxious noise in the cabin. But when you do fire the vehicle up, you definitely hear the Infiniti V6. So yeah, vehicle gets a pass, and I'm pleased to see again that rust-free underbody. Thank you.